We are listening Dhammas and we are studying and listening and practicing Dhamma. As the Bhante said, those who protect the Dhamma, the Dhamma protect them. So the Buddhas preach Dhamma for 45 years. So this Dhamma is like not for everybody, like only like listening or only studying or like not for them. The Buddha said the Dhamma is for those who are practicing, put into day-to-day life. Is when the Buddha was near to his last day, near to Maha, the Buddha's last, near to his demise. So at that time, all the monks were very sad and worried about Buddha's demise. So they went to Buddha and pay homage to see the Buddha for last time. But among them, there was a Bhante, there was a monk. His name was Dhamma Ramo. He was in his own kuti and practicing meditation. And he didn't went to Buddha for paying homage. And then other monks just reported the Buddha, like how Dhamma Ramo is like an ungrateful monk. The Buddha is almost near to death, but he didn't came here for paying homage to the Buddha. When the monks reported to Buddha, and the Buddha called that Bhante Dhamma Ramo and asked about this incident. Then this Bhante, Dhammarama Bhante said, Bhante, I thought that before Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha, before the passing away of the Buddha, I should attain the enlightenment. I should attain enlightenment. Therefore, I was practicing, I was meditating. After hearing this, the Buddha said, Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Well done. Then Buddha said, he is my real son. He is my real son. Because just for came to the Buddha for paying homage and showing respect to the Buddha is not enough. The Buddha said, the person who really practicing the Buddha's words, the Buddha's teaching, he is the real son of the Buddha. So this Dhamma, the Buddha's in another sutta, the Buddha explained for whom this Dhamma is. So with this, today I will speak about Anuruddha Sutta. When the Buddha was in Bagga, it is near, in between Savatthi and Vaisali. So Buddha was staying at that Bagga city and Deer Park. At that time, Anuruddha Bhante, he was meditating in one deep forest called Cheti. During his meditation, the thoughts came to, 7 kinds of thoughts came to Anuruddha Bhante's mind. So Bhante, when Bhante was thinking, so what are the thought? So Anuruddha Bhante was thinking, oh, this Dhamma is for uh, the person who is less desire, not for the who has like lots of desire. And the Dhamma is for who is very contentment, who has contentment, santutti, not for the person who has discontentment. And the Dhamma is who has uh, like seclusion, who cultivating secluded, not for the person who enjoy to live in the like company or in the crowd, in crowd. And the Dhamma is who has effort, energetic, not for the person who is lazy. The Dhamma is for who develop the mindfulness, not for the person who is unmindfulness. The Dhamma is who develop the concentration, not for the person who not developing the concentration, not developing meditation. And the last is the Dhamma who developing the wisdom, not for like unwise person. So these 7 kinds of thoughts came into Anuruddha's Bhante's mind. So when Bhante was thinking about this, like the Dhamma is for who has less desire, Dhamma is for who cultivating seclusion, who has contentment, who is energetic, who is mindfulness, who is like developing samadhi, concentration. So when the Bhante was thinking about that, at that time, this Buddha aware of this Anuruddha Bhante's thought. So when Buddha aware of this thought, then Buddha, with his psychic power, he disappear. He appear in front of the Anuruddha Bhante, where the already seat were prepared. In Buddha's time, where the monks are staying, like in kuti, nearby his kuti or inside his kuti, always there is the monks used to keep one seat for the Buddha, because the Buddha normally visiting monks like anytime. So therefore they always keep one seat for the Buddha to sit. So when Buddha appear with his psychic power in front of this Anuruddha Bhante, and the Buddha said, "Well done, Anuruddha, sadhu, sadhu. What you are thinking is correct, and it is the thoughts of great person. But you should add another one point here, like one thoughts." The Buddha said, then this Dhamma is for one who detached from the worldly life, one who reducing defilement, one who like renouncing worldly life, not for the person who wants to live in the world, not for the person who like developing defilement. So with this point, the Buddha mentioned these 8 kinds of thoughts of great person. Maha Purisa Vitaka. Maha means great. Purisa is the person. Vitaka is the thoughts. So when after saying this to the Venerable Anuruddha Bhante, then Buddha again said, if a person thinking about this 8 kinds of thoughts and develop meditation, he can attain like jhana very easily, very like quick. He can attain jhanas, and after attaining jhanas, he can attain the enlightenment also. So after saying this, then Buddha went back to the Bagga and reappear in front of the old monks, and Buddha same thing explained to the monks who are gathered in the Bagga city. So here the Buddha said, the Dhamma is for one who has less desire. Appicha sayang Dhammo. Appa icha is a less desire. Because if we have desire, wanting this and that, everything is we wanting something, then the Dhamma is not for the person who has lots of desire. Because these 8 points refer as a 8-fold path. 8-fold path means we have to like the person who practice this 8-fold path, he or she can free from all suffering. Because in the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha mentioned there's suffering. And then Buddha mentioned there is a cause of suffering. Why these sufferings arise in our life. And then Buddha told us that there is a way, there is a path that can lead us to freedom from suffering. And then Buddha also show us the path also. That paths are 8-fold path, the Noble 8-fold path. So here in this 8 points, we can see, the Buddha mentioned this 8-fold path here also. The first 3, the Dhamma is for who has less desire. The Dhamma is for who has contentment person. The Dhamma is for who is cultivating seclusion, who likes to live secluded place. So here, seclusion, viveka, in Pali we call viveka. There are 3 kinds of seclusion: kaya viveka, vachi viveka, and upadhi viveka. Kaya viveka means to avoid doing evil action through our bodily. That is kaya viveka, separation from evil action through bodily action, avoiding evil action through our bodily. Then chitta viveka, vachi viveka. That is through our verbal action. And then upadhi viveka. It is the defilement, to reducing, to avoid the defilement, to um, uh, to reducing defilement, like we have attachment to our bodily mind and we have anger. So reducing these things, to avoiding these things, upadhi viveka. So seculation means to avoid this evil action through our bodily, verbally, and mentally. So these three, less contentment, less desire, contentment, and to stay in seclusion, is come under Shila. In Eightfold Path, there are three parts: Shila, Samadhi, Panya. In Shila, we have Samma Vacha, Samma Kamanta, Samma Ajiva. Right action, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Right speech is not telling lie, not gossiping, not using harsh words, not backbiting. So these are right speech. And right action is to avoiding killing, to avoiding stealing, to avoid engaging in sexual misconduct. And right livelihood, Samma Vayama, is to live a life that not harms other beings, to earn the things, to live our day-to-day life without harming others. So these are come under Shila. If somebody is living in this way, then Dhamma is for them. It means the person who are practicing Shila, the person who follow the Pancha Shila, like for monks 10 precepts, and for bhikkhus more than precepts are there. If a person, whether it's lay people or monks, nuns, if they are following Shila, it means Dhamma is for them. If a person, if we are not practicing Shila, we have been just undertaking precept and not just telling by our mouth, but not practicing in our day-to-day life, then Dhamma is not for us. Because the Dhamma, what the Buddha taught, is for practicing, not for any kinds of show or any kinds of like just for showing or paying respect. Like you pay in front of like a full tipitaka whole day, but you are not practicing, then Dhamma is not for that person. You will not freedom from suffering, because we are not walking on that path. Like if a person have sickness and he went to the doctor and doctor instruct that person, oh, you should eat, you should take this medicine, you should eat this food, that food, you should avoid that kinds of food. Right? After listening instruction, and he came to his house and keeping one picture of the doctor and just paying homage to that and praying in front of the doctor, but not taking medicine, not avoiding the what like a foods or something, he will never cure his sickness. He have to follow his the doctor advice. He have to take medicine. He have to avoid the some unsuitable foods or unsuitable things. So likewise, the Buddha show us this path, this Dhamma. If we just listening and if we just studying and listening but not practicing, then the Dhamma is not for us. If we are not practicing Shila, then Dhamma is not for us. So these three, like less desire, we should be a less desire person. We should have contentment, santutti, and we should stay in seclusion. Means we should avoid unwholesome action through our bodily, verbally, and mentally. So these are come under the Shila. And then the Dhamma is for becoming energetic, not for a lazy person. So this is Samma Vayama, right effort. So if a person who has effort with the physical effort and mental effort also, we have to, if we doesn't have physical effort, then we cannot practice like meditation, we cannot practice Shila. Suppose we are not eating food, our body become weak, then we cannot practice Shila and meditation. So we need like bodily effort, bodily and mental effort. The Buddhas explain four kinds of mental effort to avoid the unarising evil thoughts in our mind, to avoid arising thoughts of our mind, to cultivate the good thoughts in our mind, and to protect the good thoughts that already develop in our mind. So these are right effort, Samma Vayama. And then Buddha said, this Dhamma is for one who has mindfulness, not for unmindfulness. So without mindfulness, we cannot practice Shila, we cannot develop meditation, we cannot practice meditation. Because sati is very important in our spiritual life. Without sati, without mindfulness, we never ever can develop, we can never develop the Shila. Because our mind always with the defilement. If we are not aware, the defilement come naturally. So therefore we have to be aware all the time. As much as we have aware, we can avoid evil action, we can avoid defilements. Even sometime after defilement arising in our mind, if we are aware of that, the anger or desire or greed arising in my mind, you can avoid, you can reduce. If you are not aware, this desire will continue in your mind for a long time. If like anger, if you are not aware of your anger, the anger will become stronger and stronger. Then you cannot remove your anger easily. If you are aware in the first thoughts, like anger arises in your mind, and you just aware, anger, I have like the anger arises in my mind. If you are aware of that, then you can easily remove your anger, easily control your anger. So sati is very important in our spiritual progress. So this Dhamma is for one who has mindfulness, sati. Then the Buddha said the Dhamma is one who has samadhi, right? Concentration. Like this is for little higher level. If we doesn't have samadhi, then right concentration, then we cannot attain the enlightenment. We cannot attain the jhana. So for that, to attain enlightenment, to become a sotapanna, sagadagami or anagami, we have to develop right concentration. So otherwise, if we are practicing shila, we have effort, but we doesn't have this concentration, samadhi, we cannot become enlightenment. If we are not become enlightenment, we have to be born again and again in this world. So therefore, this Dhamma is for one who developing samadhi, not for the person who not developing samadhi. Then the person, the Dhamma is for one who developing wisdom. This is right understanding and right thoughts. Wisdom to understand the Four Noble Truths. Right thoughts, to the thoughts of renunciation, the thoughts of not harming others. Because without wisdom, we cannot understand the nature of our mind and body. We cannot understand the three characteristics of our life: anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanency, suffering, and non-self. Without wisdom, we cannot understand this thing. Without understanding these three things, we cannot attain, we cannot progress further towards enlightenment. So therefore, the Buddha said this Dhamma is for one who developing wisdom, means who understand the Four Noble Truth, who understand the three characteristic of our day-to-day our life. And then the last eighth point is the Dhamma is for who is renouncing worldly life, like who giving up worldly life, not who, the person who was like staying in the worldly life. So these are the eight points, eight thoughts, seven thoughts that occur to in Anuruddha Bante's mind, and then after that, after knowing this Anuruddha's mind, then the Buddha add this last point. So these are called the Maha Purisa Vitaka, the great person thoughts. Because if one have these thoughts, we should also develop these thoughts. When we develop this thought, then it helps us to protect more and more Shila, to develop more and more Samadhi and Panya. Because if we not think according to this way, then our mind, because our minds are like a fish. In one Dhammapada, the Buddha said, if you keep, if you put the fish on the ground, the fish will tremble to go in toward the water, because he has like suffering, he has pain in the on that ground. He have to go again and again towards that in the water. So our mind is like that. If we not protect our mind, our minds always wanting to go towards the defilement, because from life after life our minds have habit of stay with the defilement. Of course, we don't wanting the defilement, we don't want suffering, but we are habit of that. Our mind is habit with this defilement. So suppose if we are coming out of defilements, if we doesn't have proper sati, proper samadhi, then our mind naturally go back towards the defilement. So therefore, we have to develop these thoughts again and again, like this dhamma is for to whom? It is for me or not? Because Buddha mentioned this 8 point. If we are not less desire person, if we are not contentment person, if we are not like effort person, then you should think, oh, this dhamma is not for me. I should develop contentment, I should develop viriya, effort, I should develop sati, mindfulness, I should develop samadhi, concentration. Because only like listening and studying, and this is like of course very helpful, but only without practicing, then it is like a we are washing our clothes and again putting into marts again. So we have to be practice even for like little, because that little practice of dhamma will help you to progress further toward nibbana. So with this, I conclude today's dhamma talk here. May you all be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.